Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas and today we are going to be building a dashboard in Lovable. So I started off with, getting some ideas. I started using Grok because it's quite new and I wanted to test it out. So I started getting some ideas with Grok. I wanted to create some type of, I was just, brainstorming some ideas. Should not be too advanced. Should have a login screen, maybe a dashboard I wrote, right? So at the end, it came up with some things. I actually like the idea with fitness trainers or teachers or something in this realm. And for teachers, lesson plan organizer and student assignment tracker. There were also some other things, but I decided to go with this for teachers one. And I went and took that and brought it into Claude. And in Claude, basically what I did here is just I created a few visual, sketches, right? Can you sketch out a visual dashboard prototype for the assignment tracker? So we have this assignment tracker. It's called Assign Track. We have a dashboard. We have classes, assignments, students, and we don't really need the analytics right now, but basically I just created different views of these different tabs, right? So we had the dashboard, we had the assignments, classes, and students, right? So it all looks like this. And this is kind of something that I want to build using Lovable. I want to actually first bring this from Claude into Figma, kind of stylize it in a way that we like it, and then export that Figma design into Lovable and actually get that working, right? And then at the end, what we can also do is, build a quick little landing page, like a marketing landing page in Framer, and link that to the Lovable login, right? So once you click on login in that landing page, it takes you to that authentication page where you can log in with the email or register, right? And then once you're in, you can check out this dashboard. So if that is something interesting for you guys, stick around and let's build this together. All right, now the first thing that I want to do is I actually kind of want to, visually have this in place, have this this sitemap in place, right? Or this user flow, right? So the first thing that I want to do is I want to start putting some different sticky notes saying, okay, this is the marketing landing page, which will be done in Framer. And I'm just going to put this bold and maybe increase the sizing of this. So we got that first, which is actually going to come at the very end of the video. And let's make it blue because this is Framer. And then we have the login page, or let's put the authentication auth page. So this, it's going to have the email and password and login button, right? Then after that, we're going to have the dashboard, right? Let's make these another color because this is going to be with Lovable. Let's make it pink. Just reminds me of Lovable somehow. So dashboard, and we're going to have, so this is going to be the app, and we're going to have the dashboard. We're going to have the, what was it? Classes, assignments, and students. Classes, assignments, and students. So this is like the very, very first step of doing this, right? Obviously, this is going to have other types of branches, like under the dashboard, you can have the ability to do this and this, and same thing with the classes. Like this is going to be a, much larger tree, right? There's going to be other steps involved and whatnot. But right now, let's just think of these main ones, right? So we have the landing page that takes us here. Then we have the auth page that takes us to the dashboard. And then each one goes to each other simultaneously, right? You can click on the different tabs. Okay, so what I want to do is actually, now I have this in place, I'm just going to copy this and bring this to an actual Figma design file. So I was in a FigJam file, now I'm going to a Figma design file. And what I'm going to do now is the following. I'm going to start to publish these. So you can do this here, publish. I publish this one, for example, and you can like, what you can do is you can inspect and, you know, double check if it's like real code, which it is. So you can see this is a text, this is a rectangle, and it's all like in a specific type of, you know, different text with the Arial. So it's HTML text, and you can double check here, right? So what I want to do is I want to use something like HTML to Figma. And I found this over here called HTML to Figma by Div Riots. And I'm going to try this out. So I'm going to go back to Figma, and I'm going to go to HTML to design. And I'm just curious to see if this would actually work. So you can do web and you can do HTML. Okay, interesting. So I'm just going to try with the web. Maybe that's easier. I hope, you know, maybe it imports this other thing, but let's just try it like this. I don't think it's going to work like this, but let's just try, you know. So it finished loading, and there's a few options. There's like use auto layout. I'm just going to click that. And just click on go. And it kind of works. Wow. Okay, so it does import this bottom thing, which we can just delete. And all I want is this over here. So let's just click on X here. And yeah, let's just have this. Perfect. Look, it's even, everything is auto layout. Let me even see if that's true or not. I mean, it's not really auto layout. Okay. We could put these things together in auto layout. So instead of having these groups, they can be auto layout going downwards, I would say. Well, I would have to kind of clean this up, but I've heard that the best way to do this is to actually have auto layout. So I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna see how it works like this without the auto layout. And I'm gonna move this out. I'm gonna try to bring this in like that. Perfect. And this as well, like this. Boom. Okay. So we have this SVG file. I'm gonna remove these little icons because they're not really useful at the moment. And let's just make these white. So you see how I am basically editing this. So there were a few issues with the Claude project, but basically this is how we do it. So I can grab these things and make them closer to these icons. Perfect. And what I can do with this is I can make it maybe bold, align it left. Boom. Okay, and then we have this. I want to also align it like this with the logo, like so. So we have the teacher dashboard, and I don't know what that was for. Okay, it's not really anything. So I'm just gonna delete these because we don't really need them. But we could add a new assignment. We could, so these are the different assignments. So, and this gives us like quite a good, you know, overview of how this would end up looking like. So I'm just gonna delete this. We have this SVG. Let's call this the dashboard. And there's no auto layout applied to this. So just, you know, telling you. And now what we want to do is we want to bring this into Lovable. Now, if I go to Lovable, right, we have the ability to attach images. So we could, attach a screenshot, but there's this Figma logo right here. And that's the thing that we want to test out today, right? So let's click on Figma import and see what's needed. It says import from Figma, use the Builder.io Figma plugin. So let's just click on that and select a frame using auto layout and use export to code, then Lovable. So it says that the frame has to have auto layout, or it says using auto layout. So I suspect that it's best that this does have auto layout. But I'm curious to see how this would work without this auto layout, just to test it out. Eventually, if it's really bad, we're gonna have to do auto layout. I can, pause the video and do that really quick. But let's just check to see that. So we have this frame. Let's go plugins and let's click Builder.io, right? So click on Builder.io. I already had it somehow. And now what we want to do is we want to export to code. And we're going to see, we have to wait now until it finishes analyzing everything. Okay. And now let's put open in Lovable. And let's just connect this with the builder. And I just have to, sign in. So let me do that really quick. So once I'm signed in, it's analyzing the exported code again. It's generating React components. So I don't think this is like a, AI process here. I just think that it's just reading the layers. So I'm pretty sure it's not really going to work very nicely without this auto layout function. But let's just wait and see. All right, so my Lovable just automatically opened. It says build a pixel perfect UI clone of this Figma design. And it did this automatically. I didn't type this, right? So it says I'll create a project from this Figma design. And now it's just creating. So let's just see. I can already see that there's some, code being written everywhere. So there's the dashboard stats, dashboard sidebar, user profile. What else do we have? We have the performance chart, layout, and these are all different React components, right? Okay, and as you can see, look, so this is the problem. It did a good job, but there's no auto layout. So that was the problem, right? So we have this, it's working well, but the design kind of sucks, right? And the reason for that is because, let me just see, just publish it and check it out in the actual browser. So I'm going to publish this and see how long it takes to publish. But eventually when this works, when we have auto layout and this works, we can add the authentication and so on. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to add some auto layout. And it does look okay like this. Still kind of, no, it's still not good. But let me just, it's still not the best, right? So let's just go ahead and go back. Let's just go ahead and go back and fix this auto layout issue, because that's what the team said at Lovable, just to add some auto layout. And in order to do that, what we have to do, so this one is an example of what we did with auto layout, but I'm going to have to create, for each one of these groups has to be a layout. So auto layout, boom. This has to also be an auto layout, not a group. This has to also be auto layout. And this was working fine in that preview. So if we go back to that preview, these were working actually pretty fine. You see how they like collapse with each other? And that's because we added auto layout to this line, right? But this isn't really working. So now we fixed that. So now it should be working a little bit better at least. So let's just put these together as an auto layout, boom. And this one as well. So buttons should be auto layouts as well, or layouts, so to say. I'm just going to group this. Hold on. Command G, auto layout, boom. Let's give some nice 10 pixel radius. And now let's just create an auto layout here. And let's just create a group, auto layout, boom. We make it like this. And this would also be kind of just grab all of these. So let me first actually make layouts to the buttons first. Auto layout, auto layout. And each one of these has to have a nice little something like that. We can put something like 20 to make it a little bit more precise. As you can see, just trying to make this look better. Okay, this has a fixed, so it's hug contents. Exactly, that's what we wanted. Hug contents. And we want this to be 20. Here as well, hug contents. And we might want to do that as well for all of these. So making sure that everything is hug contents, hug contents. Beautiful. And hug contents here. So you can already start seeing that these things are right. Good. So just grabbing everything and putting them into their own layouts. Great. Boom, 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 boom. So by the way, if you find this quite difficult to follow, I do have a video about auto layouts in Figma. So you can check that out. But it should be, you know, something that you can work on. So auto layout here, auto layout there. And you can already start seeing that the text kind of center, we want that to be in the bottom. So we'll just do that eventually. Let me just finish this auto layouts. And then we just select all of these and move the text to the bottom. And we want the radius. Oh, I mean, we can leave them like 4, like that. And then we just grab all of these and auto layout these, right? Boom. So everything is starting to have their own layout. Let's just create a group here and let's auto layout. And I would really like if this had like a fill, but it doesn't. I guess constraints top, no. We can do that at the end. Okay. Group, auto layout, boom. So I guess, okay, so now we can group these, boom, auto layout, group these, boom, auto layout, and group these, boom, auto layout. And now we want this to also be an auto layout, going to the left. And what is this? This is a vector. Let's just put it like this. We get, actually group these 3. And I'm thinking, let me actually just make this, see that we have like this little shape. Let's just group these 3 into this. So auto layout. And then we get this and this. And it's another auto layout. So we have the right panel. We have the title. We have the content. And then we have section 1, section 2, section 3. So guys, basically it's just putting everything into like little boxes. That's all that it is. So, okay. Now let's just put these together, auto layout. Put these together, auto layout. Let's make this have a rounded, corners. Put these together, auto layout. Boom. And then these, each one auto layout. Actually, these have to be kind of grouped together. Now these, or this, is going to be auto layout. This, auto layout. This one, let's just group these together. Make sure that the icons are grouped and auto layout. Let's make sure that this is looking nice and not weird. Something like that. And group these and auto layout. And finally, this last one. Let's just group these two. Get this group, give it an auto layout. Oh, actually, this is the last one. Sorry. Group. Get these two. Auto layout. Actually, group these two. This would be the auto layout. Okay. And then this auto layout. And then we can go left aligned. Perfect. And then this vector is basically gonna be this, 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 and this. Actually, no, we gotta get these first together into their own group. So let's auto layout this. And let's put some padding on the left. Actually, these have to be I'm thinking maybe we have to duplicate these a few times. Classes, assignments, students, and I don't really need analytics and settings. So let's just remove these. Actually, classes. So this one's going to go here. Let me just delete this one. Boom. So it's very easy to duplicate these things. We want this to be, 0, and we want these to have 0 fill. We want the assignments to have this one, and we want the students. Let's give the students this one. Why not? Okay. So now we got this one, and we got this one, and let's give this an auto layout, and perfect. They have this big space. We want them to be left aligned. Something like that. That looks fine. This is centered. So we want this to actually have some padding, just like this one. How much does it have? 34. So we also want it to have 34 and kind of make this left aligned perfect. So now we have this one and this one. So these two are going to be also its own auto layout. And then these two, let's just make this left. And these two, or this one, so to say, is auto layout. So we got this dashboard, and then we have the layout. This is going to be the logo or top. Let's just call it top. Then we can go, this is the logo, perfect. Then we got this. This is going to be the bottom. Then we have the right. Okay, we can start off like this. So guys, this is just you know, a quick little auto layout tutorial, right? So let's go ahead and click on the plugins again and run this, what was it again? Builder.io, and export code. So it's gonna now, you know, do this whole process again. So let's just open in Lovable and see how that goes. So it might take a few seconds, but I just want to kind of show you how the process goes, right? So it's analyzing the exported code, and now it's going to just do another few checkpoints here, and eventually it's going to open by itself in Lovable. So yeah, that's that. So it's just open by itself again, build a pixel perfect UI clone of this Figma design. Let's see how good it gets now that it has some auto layouts everywhere. Maybe there are going to be a few, you know, errors, but you know, this is my first time doing this, so let's just see how this goes. So it's loading. Okay, it looks much better. Something is not really okay. I can see that it's going like this. So it's doing better, but it's not really the best. So let's just publish this. And what happens if I increase the size of my screen? Okay, so maybe it's because there are some fixed widths, right? Let's just scroll down. Maybe because the widths are fixed, but it's not really working so well. So let's just figure that out again in Figma. So I'm just gonna collapse down. Oh, I can see that there's something. Yeah, fill container. I want this to be fill container. Actually, we want this to stay fixed and or fit. Hug contents, yeah. And so now this is looking more and more like, and I guess we can do a good preview by just doing like this. So we want these different things to be fill. We want this to be fill. We want this to be fill. And these also to be fill. So we do have fill. I don't know why it wasn't working, but we do have it. So section 1, fill, hug. Let's just do fill. I like that better. So this is going to be not fixed, but just put fill. And each one of these are going to be fill as well. Same here. Let's just see what happens. Let's put hug because it's a button. And then this is going to be hug as well. Just like in Framer, you know, fit. You want things like this to fit. And here we have hug. What I can do is I can just make this fill, right? And then the content inside can also be fill, right? So I'm just gonna do that here as well. Get these 3, set it to fill. Get these 3, set it to fill. And go to this next section, fill. This is gonna be fill. And we want this to be left aligned. Excuse me. Let's make this fill as well. And then let's go through each one of these. Okay, they're all fill. Great. But I guess the content inside is not really fill. Hug, fill. Frame 3 is gonna be fill. Or let's just keep it at hug. This is gonna be fill. Right? And then we want to, I'd say, decrease the gap to about 60 pixels, right? So we want to do that for each one of these two. We want to decrease the gap to 60 and just make everything except for the button fill. Why not the button? Well, because the button, we wanted to keep it fit to this text and not be like really long, right? So we got that. Let's get this. Fill, perfect. And let's make each of one of these set to fill. And this last text as well set to fill. Boom. Now it's looking more, it's looking more like it. Great. So let's go down to this one. Fill, perfect. This has to be set to fill. And this as well, fill. And this, fill, amazing. And let's see each one of these. So we have fill. Let's make all of these fill and not fixed. So that was kind of the main problem here. So why it wasn't really collapsing and doing the job right. Because this was set to fill. And here, for example, this has a pretty big gap. And we want to just make sure that it's something like this. And eventually we want to have, a different, mobile view for this, right? We wanted to kind of go underneath in the mobile view, have a different type of design. So let's kind of get that, see how we do that when that problem comes. Anyways, let's just get these different pills, these different bars here. And each one is a frame, and each one of these has to be fill. So hug, no, fill. And let's make this like 12 pixels. So it's quite small. So it's looking much better. Let's make these smaller as well. Something like 12. It's also something good to kind of check out, just to make sure that everything is at a, a font size that makes sense. When I have something like 16 pixels and not 18. Yeah, that looks better. And these can be something like 18. These can be 24. This can be 32 and bold. And this can be 32. This can be 28. This can be 32 or 28 as well. Right? So that's looking more like it. And this can be 12. Boom. This can be 18. All right. I like it. All right. So let's see. If we grab this and we go like this, it's gonna, look strange. So this has to be fixed. If I were to increase it, it's looking nice, but if it goes to the mobile view, it's not really looking good. And I think that this also has to have that, sizing issue solved. So right now it's set at hug, and I might want to make it set to fill, but have like some type of max width. And I think we can do that somehow by adding some type of max constraint, or I don't remember how to do it, but it should be possible. So auto layout. Let's just keep it like this, hug. Let's just make sure that these are set to fill. So let's make these over here set to a hug content. And I'm just wondering why this is not really going to the end. Okay, this is hug. We want this to be hug as well. Got it. Okay. So we want this then to be fill, and each one of these to be fill. This one can stay fixed. This one can be fill. So let's just make all of these fill container. Let me just see how this would look like. So if I do this, looks somehow like that. So I guess it's not really mobile friendly, in my opinion. We can try to make this 1200. It's like the standard size, I guess. And get all of these frames and make them fill. And let's set this to 30. Set this to 5. Okay. All right. I don't know if we can really do this in terms of, making a mobile variant. Maybe Lovable can do it for us. Let's just see. Because right now in Figma, I know that, we have it in desktop version and it's looking good. We can like increase this. It's going to be pretty big, but when it comes to the mobile version, we have to do like another separate version of it. So that's the issue here that we have. So I did see I just saw one tutorial on this. Let me see if we can do something that has this as the minimum width. We can do something like 700. So for example, this right one can have a add minimum width. Actually, let's put 390. And let's see how this goes. So right now it's looking like this. I'm seeing that this right one something here has to hug the containers. I'm guessing this, yeah. Hug contents. So it's starting to look better. This one has to be fill. Or I'm sorry, maybe this bottom one has to be fill. Content. Okay. And let's make it I'm just making sure that this works. So we can do something like this, that it stays at the top. Yeah, I think for today, desktop version would be enough, right, guys? All right, so let's just bring this over again. Let's go plugins, builder, and let's do that export again and see how that goes. There are going to be some problems with that responsiveness, 100%, but at least the desktop version is going to be looking better. because we adjusted the whole, fixed widths and everything. So that's for sure going to be, much better. So let's just see how that goes. I'm over here just taking some notes for next time. And yeah, it's again generating React components, making them really good. Okay. Just gotta wait for that. And right now it's just configuring the styles. And now, as you can see, it just opens by itself. It opens like this, and now it's opening a new project, generating the code. I haven't even touched my keyboard yet, so let's just see. Let's just sit and wait. And now it's not looking, perfect. There are a few things here with the icons that are not really syncing, and this is, like I said, with the responsiveness that it's not really working, but I can move this, and as I make it wider, or let's just publish this, check that out on a normal screen size. It should look like this, right? It should look like this. So let's go back to Chrome and wait for it to be published. And let's go here. And as you can see, it's looking much better. Obviously, these are still kind of weird. It's not in the same, like design, but it's getting there. I guess, for example, this button looks pretty big. I guess we have to, get this and give it a hug contents and maybe align this to the bottom. It is already aligned to the bottom, so I don't know why it's looking like that. Is it also aligned to the bottom here? No. Yeah, that's strange. See, there's a few strange things happening. Anyways, I'm going to go back to Lovable and start editing this. So, can you generate a mobile version of the dashboard so that when I use it on my mobile phone, it works, but with a mobile layout? So I'm just going to type that and see how that goes. And yeah, so let's just see how that goes in terms of fixing the responsiveness in Lovable. So it says, I'll help you create a mobile responsive version of the dashboard by modifying the existing components. Okay, maybe that works, right? Maybe that works. Let's go ahead and see. And what I want to do next is I want to start adding some functionality to, or I want to see if I can, adjust this button to have a fit height and not a fixed height. Let's just go step by step. And then eventually we're gonna start adding some functionality by adding an authentication page or adding functionality to this new assignment button, that when you click on new assignment, you can add a new assignment, right? So let's just wait and see. It's been a few seconds now and it's, I guess, generating some things, but we don't really have anything right now. So yeah, let's just wait and see. And so Lovable just finished with this mobile fix, and it actually works pretty well. I mean, it still needs a few adjustments, because if you scroll down, you can see this still kind of there. And this is not really performing so well, and this blue part, it's not really filling the container, and I can't really adjust that. Or maybe here, no, can't really do that. So fill container, maybe now. Yeah, so that's not really working, but whatever. Let's just go back to Chrome and go back to our project, and now let's say, okay, thank you, right? Thank you. First off, can you make the button containing plus new assignment. Can you give the button containing a fitted height, not fixed? Also, so let's think about this. Also, okay, so also, can you, so I'm gonna go back to my first Claude, mood board here and just take a few screenshots of this. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and assignments. So assignments and then students. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just bring these into Figma and bring these screenshots into Figma, put them right here. I'm gonna remove these options because we deleted them, and I'm gonna remove the buttons at the top because I deleted them as well. So just gonna go something like this, put that here on the right, and put that for the first one. So let's group these, and then I'm gonna just export these three. So I'm gonna make this students DB, give this courses DB, DB for dashboard, and assignments DB. And let's just grab all of these, export PNG, export 3 layers, and save. Perfect. So now what we can do is we can go back to Chrome and go to our Lovable. Also, so thank you. First off, can you give the button containing the plus new assignment a fit height, not fixed? Also, can you create the classes, assignments, and students pages? View the images as references. So I'm gonna move this guy over here, attach images, and I got these three open. Let's wait for them to load. Should take a few seconds. Boom. And let's click on submit. So now I've sent that to Lovable, and let's see what they do. So the new assignment button is fitted now. It's not really clickable, but it's a nicer height, so to say. Let's click on classes. So you can see the classes right here. We have biology, we have chemistry, we have active and archive, but they're not really there. You can't really create a new class yet, but we're getting there, right? Eventually, with more prompting, you can create that, but just like that, right? I just added a new prompt and it fixed, and that's what you just have to do, right? Just continue prompting and fine-tuning your product. So we have 5 different students. We can, in different classes, right? We can eventually search a student name. I don't really think you can do that now, but it's possible. We can add a student, and let's just do one more thing. Let's make the ability to add a student. So give the can you please or let's write, when the user clicks on plus add student, can you give the ability to, can you, when the user should be prompted to add a student name, ID, class, drop down of the 5 different classes. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so we can do that. So when the user clicks on plus, add student, boom, this should work. So let's just click on enter. And then once Lovable does that, I think the next step would be to create this authentication page, this login page. And once the user is logged in, then they can see that dashboard. And then at the end, we just create, you know, a little website, marketing website. Here, this is our product, boom, log in, boom, Lovable. And that's it, right? So that's the whole goal of this video. We're almost there. So let's just wait on this new task that Lovable has to do for us. So Lovable says input that they included a model that has these different fields. So let's just add a student and then boom, we have that. So we can put Lucas and my ID is 99721346767. I don't know. And class physics. Cool. Add student. And I should be added. So basic form validation, though you might want to add more robust validation. Basic form validation, okay. So when I click on add when I finish inputting the student info and click on add student, the student should appear in the students list in the students tab. Boom, boom. Okay, so let's just make sure that works. So we're just adding functionality slowly and surely. Obviously, this is a bigger project. This is quite a big, you know, app to work on. So yeah, let's just see how that goes. Obviously, I would recommend that you try to put as many, you know, how can I say? You try to fit as much as possible into one prompt, make it very genuine, make it very, you know, specific. Try to point things out. Don't be vague in terms of description. Be very specific, because I'm using the starter account, which is I think $20 a month, and you get 100 prompts a month. So you just got to be careful with that. You don't want to exceed that, right? Let's say that you're building an app and you do not want to exceed your prompts. You just want to make it as efficient as possible. So now, okay, initial completion rate is 0%. Okay, perfect. So let's click on add student and let's put my name. Let's put the 987432516 class physics, add student, and here I am, 0%. Perfect. So that's exactly what we want. Okay, now what I want to do is the following. I want to go ahead and add authentication, and I need Supabase for that. So we're going to go ahead and click on Supabase and yes, create a new project. And we're going to call this, what's it called? Assign track. So assign track. And I'm going to create a database password. So I'm just going to generate a password. And let's put East and create new project. And let's see how long it takes. So let's just save this. And now I'm going to say, okay, please add a please add a authentication page where users can either register or log in to view the dashboard. Connect this to Supabase to my Supabase account project. What's it called? The project name is assign track. Okay, so it's still setting up. Assign track. Still setting up. What if I refresh this? It's still setting up, so let's just wait a bit for this to be set up, I guess, right? Okay, so just after a few seconds it's set up. So I'm just gonna go here and send this. So please add an authentication page where users can either register or log in to view the dashboard. Connect this to my Supabase account, project name, assign track. Want to integrate as a native. I recommend using that for the best. This will allow you. Okay, so I already have this, and let's just connect. Okay, so we do it like this. So I shouldn't write it, but I should do it like that. So I am now connecting to your Supabase. If you haven't created any tables in your Supabase project, use. Okay. So I'm going to put enable sign up and login with email password options and social. So these social ones aren't going to work for now, but we have to just connect it to Google, for example. Store and use real data. Okay. Enable sign up and login page. Okay, so let's just do that. So I think I might be like around 7 prompts in. So 1, let's just count this as a prompt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've gone so far just with 8 prompts. And again, you have 100 per month with this starter pricing, right? So, and the other day I created I don't even remember what I created. It was some app. Yeah, some language learning app with the free version of Lovable. And I compared that with Bolt New and with V0. It's another video that I have. And it actually went pretty far with the free version as well. So also cool for you guys to kind of check out. So now that our database is set up, I'll create so I created a database, so you can see there's probably like some, yeah, created a table. So I guess this is not so important to understand, but we have like a table with full name, avatar, new ID. So on auth user created. Okay, so it creates this table. I don't know where it's stored, but I'm interested. So we have table editor, SQL editor. So we have different tables. We have a database. So it hasn't created the table yet. No tables created yet. So let's just see. Okay. And now don't have an account, sign up. Okay, so complete the setup says you need to configure, so Google and GitHub in your Supabase dashboard. Make sure to set the site URL and redirect. So let's just click on. Let's just click on this. So we do have Google Authentication, but it says here to, configure the auth providers. But we're not going to really do that now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to publish this. We're going to update this. And I'm going to publish this. And open the link when it's ready. By the way, I think I can change this. So I'm going to call this, what was it again? Assign track. So assign track. So we're renaming this now. And I'm just gonna open this and update this actually. Let's close this. And what we're gonna do, so we're gonna run this, boom, assign track.lovable.app, and we're gonna just go ahead and don't have an account. So my name is Lucas. I'm gonna put my email. Actually, I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna put another password. Sign up. So it says to check my email for verification. So I'm gonna do that really quick. So I get this email. So I'm just gonna click on this. So it takes me to this, which is pretty weird. That has to be fixed, but we don't have enough time right now. We want to go here, and we should be, authenticated. So I'm just gonna click on sign in, and we're signed in, right? So we just have to fix that little, email confirmation user flow. So that are other things that you have to do with Lovable, but for today's video, just bringing stuff from Figma to Lovable works fine. So what you have to do, so now we have the dashboard, we have the classes, we have the assignments, we have the students. We can add a student, so we can say, we can put my name here, we can put a random ID, and we can pick a random class and add students, and it's going to start off with 0% because there is still no information on this, and none of these buttons work because we haven't prompted anything yet for these buttons. So yeah, this is basically it, right? And it says that I'm Jane Smith. Obviously we have to, add like a membership profile that you can edit your, your name and your email and your password, I guess. But this, for a first step, is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I'm going to go ahead and try to connect this to Framer and show you how it would look like if you have a marketing page in Framer and have this login button go to Lovable. So I'm in Framer right now. I'm going to rename this to Assign Track, I think it was called. Assign Track, and open a tablet and a phone and go ahead, and I'm going to just do it with one of my favorite component libraries called Compa. And in Compa, basically, we have different types of nav bars. I'm just going to use this one to start off with and make sure that it's not fixed width but fill. And I'm going to go back here and select a hero section, pick something like this, make sure that it's set to fill, and let's make the height fit content. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unlink this navbar by double clicking on it and click on login. So login, and here I'm just going to put some image of a teacher, so we can use that, like what's that plugin called? So we can search for a teacher, something like that. And teacher, or this SaaS app to help teachers track progress. I'm not the best at copywriting, but you get it. So login. So now what I'm going to do, we have this now for the different screens, right? Now what I want to do is I want to connect these buttons to this link. So I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to open it in the Safari browser because in the Chrome it kind of recognizes my name, my profile. So this is going to be signed into your account. So I'm going to copy this, put this into the login link, boom, and go into the snap bar as well, and boom. And now what I'm gonna do is let me go to this Safari one, don't have an account. I guess we can use the same, same thing here, right? So get started. So if I were to publish this and open this here, I can just go ahead and log in. So this is just like the landing page and then you're logged in, right? Or I can open it here and open it in Safari and click on get started. And basically here you have your login destination. So that's basically it, guys. Like, it obviously requires much more time. I just showed you like the setup process of going from Figma or Claude, let's say like ideating in Claude, creating some visuals with Claude, bringing that to Figma with that HTML to design plugin, then actually editing that design, and then bringing that to Lovable, creating functionality with it, and then using a tool like Framer to create a nice marketing page for your web app. And in less than, I mean, the video might be like an hour long, but for me it took less than an hour and 30 to make. And this just shows you how crazy our industry is getting with AI and with design. So we have to be able to learn quickly. We have to be able to be brave in order to try these new tools and not be scared of, getting our hands dirty with these tools, right? So I hope this video was useful for you guys. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys can take this and build something great. And if you do, please let me know. You can join my Discord and talk to me there. We do daily live calls at around 2 p.m. Eastern time. So you can share your findings with us whenever you build something cool. All right. So hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.